Mesut Ozil still trending. He says, as I have just found out, loyalty is very hard to come by these days. Just a simple statement to mean Arsenal betrayed him. Just a simple statement to mean that Arsenal betrayed him. He signed his contract in 2018 and he says then he decided to become loyal and pledged his allegiances to Arsenal. But they never at one point in time trusted the loyalty he gave to them. Now, welcome back to the Arsenal podcast. We are going to be discussing so many things, especially Mesut Ozil. He has fired back at the Gunners. Mikel Arteta left him out of the 25-man squad. We discussed that today in the morning, and I told you how unfair it was. He has been training so well. He has been training so hard. Mikel Arteta, according to his reports, because this is him, himself shooting his own foot. He said the player is training so well. He's doing so much, and he would be, he's in great shape. When it comes to the league, his 25-man squad, he leaves him out. Of course, there, with a player of the caliber of Mesut Ozil, there's going to be questions. There have to be questions. Ozil is a big name. Ozil is a big brand. Ozil is a big player. Now, he has fired back. I think that's where we should start. But he has also sparked off a very interesting war on Twitter. Should I call it a war? I think I should call it a war. A very interesting war on Twitter. He has written something for the Arsenal fans, a message to the Arsenal fans, and trying to express what he feels and so on. He has been quoted by so many sources. I'll quote it as well, and I would like to read it for you so that we can digest the matters well informed. This is what he writes. He says, this is a difficult message to write to the Arsenal fans that have played for over the past few years. I am really deeply disappointed by the fact that I have not been registered for the Premier League season for the time being. Upon signing my new contract in 2018, I pledged my loyalty and allegiance to the club that I love, Arsenal. And it saddens me that this has not been reciprocated. As I have just found out, loyalty is hard to come by these days. I've always tried to remain positive from week to week that there may be a chance to get back in the squad soon again. That's why I kept silent so far. Before the coronavirus break, I was really happy with the development under our new coach Mikel Arteta. We've been on a positive way, and I would say my performances were on a really good level. But then things changed again, and I was no longer allowed to play football for Arsenal. What else can I say? London is still like home. I still have many good friends in this team, and I still feel a strong connection with the fans of this club. No matter what, I'll keep fighting for a chance and not let my 8th season at Arsenal end like this. I can promise you this is a hard decision. This hard decision won't change anything in my mindset. I'll continue to train as best as I can, and wherever possible use my voice against inhumanity for justice. Signed by Mesut Ozil. That is the message. There are so many explanations around Mikel Arteta's decision not to take him for the Premier League, like I say. But let us just go through what is trending out on Twitter, because it seems Twitter and many people have their own explanations as to why Mesut Ozil is being persecuted. Is it a persecution? For me, it is. I'm Team Ozil, by the way. I'm Team Ozil. I don't feel Arsenal is doing anything right. But, okay, let us take a look at the tweets that are trending around. What is the reason behind Mikel Arteta's crazy decision to leave a 42 million player out of the squad? And I think Mesut Ozil makes a very good point. He says, when Mikel Arteta had just come, my performances were on a good level. Because if there was anyone who had got the spirits out, whose spirits were high, whose performances were better, after Mikel Arteta, set foot in Arsenal, I think Ozil and Xhaka, those were the two players that I saw react very differently. They started playing football like they should have done. And I think Granit Xhaka, until today, is a different player from the player he was under Unai Emery. Ozil was was the other player that all of us thought, he's becoming better. He's changing. His attitude had changed. Things had, started working out for him. And then, blah. The darkness arrived. Now, one of the first tweet, listen to this. Ozil is being left out of the squad because he defended the Muslims in China. It is easy for Arsenal to show sympathy for the BLM movement because it's a good PR, but they can't throw away China's money. I don't want to read the last word. It really doesn't suit the channel because I want it to stay respectful. Now, there is this saga, guys. Muslims persecuted in China. This thing, this is a situation that has been in place for some time. Could it be the reason as why Mercedes is not playing for Arsenal? Because China is one of those countries financially their economy is running so well. We have a couple of sponsorships and deals from China. So could it be that Arsenal, Mesut Ozil attacking China for persecuting Muslims, could it be the reason as to why the player is no longer involved in affairs at Arsenal? Arsenal being afraid, Arsenal trying to show that we are very distant from what Mesut Ozil says. We don't believe in what Mesut Ozil says. We believe in justice. We believe in, we don't believe in fairness. Is that the reason? The other reason is about the pay cuts. Now, I don't buy this. I really don't buy this. That because Mesut Ozil refused to take a pay cut at Arsenal, that's the reason as to why he's being, tortured, and his 8th season is going to has become ashes. No Europa League football, no English Premier League football. And where is the Premier League in this? I ask myself, the Premier League, the biggest league in the world, the FA, where are they? I think there should be a way, there should be a channel, there must be an avenue to fight for the rights of players, like Mesut Ozil. Sincerely, this guy has done nothing wrong at Arsenal. The pay cut, the pay cut wasn't mandatory. And ever since Stan Kroenke forced players to take the pay cut, he's growing richer, very rich. He's becoming rich every day. So I don't see why Mesut Ozil is a big topic. One player refusing to take a pay cut. One player like this, for example, if we have 25, 30, actually we had 35 players. 35 players on contract. 34 take a pay cut, and one player refuses to take pay cut, and you tell me you're going to persecute him at the club like that. I don't buy that. Probably the Muslim thing is more believable because he's Muslim, and China. Who doesn't know what China is capable of? They are literally a new age tyranny. They are. I don't want to call them, what should I call them? A dictatorship. They are a tyranny. Muslims have been persecuted. I'm not a Muslim, for Christ's sake, but they've been branded, persecuted all over the world for reasons well known or best known to the persecutors. And Mesut Ozil says, for me, I just can't stand that. I think this is my opinion. I've never thought that playing for a big club, a big corporation like Arsenal, Manchester United, means you have no right to speak what you think. But it might be true. After the transfer window, just after the transfer window, the Football Terrace, spoke about the Glazers. I don't like harsh comments about the Glazers. Okay, listen, harsh comments. And then his channel, actually, his video was deleted on the channel. It was put down. Okay? If I look at the two situations, maybe I can try to forge out an explanation. Because, like I say in the morning, Mikel Arteta knows very well that the virus eating up Arsenal is lack of creativity in the midfield. In that, we lack that player who can drive us forward. But we have the antidote as Mesut Ozil, but we cannot use it. What is the explanation? Mikel Arteta has never given us the perfect explanation for when it comes to Mesut Ozil. Never. And at least we are waiting for a club statement as to why Mesut Ozil is not playing. He said, it's interesting. Mikel Arteta these days speaks a lot of bullshit in his press conferences. He said it's going to be very hard for him to decide on which player not to play or not to take in the EPL squad because he has 19 non-homegrown talents and he has to take 17 only. Why did it have to be Mesut Ozil? Why did it have to be the best midfielder in the team? This is politics. The truth is, this is politics. You tell us that the best player, the best midfielder, the most technically gifted player in your squad is not good enough for the season, but Mohamed El-Neni is good enough. Or did I forget that Mohamed El-Neni is homegrown talent? Homegrown talent in the UK. He ain't. Mohamed El-Neni qualifies for Arsenal's EPL 25-man squad. Mesut Ozil doesn't. Does that communicate something, guys? I think this is this is just pure injustice, pure injustice at the hands of Arsenal. There is something that is just not being said. But anyway, we have also listen to this. Benny says to everyone suggesting that Ozil has been left out of the Arsenal squad for his comments on Muslims in China. Here's a reminder that Muslim governments are in agreement with China. Perhaps they might know better than a footballer. The truth is, I don't want to go into politics. You wouldn't want to go into politics, especially if you're a football fan. But I'm really eager to listen to what Arsenal is going to officially say about this. Because it means two things. One, if they don't say anything about it, that means they agree with Mesut Ozil on what he has said. Let us just wait for the for the Arsenal response. And I don't want Mikel Arteta to say this this time. I want someone to be something like a statement from Vinay or Edu, because Arteta is a puppet. I'm sorry to say this. Puppet that has been given a puppet that has been given plenty of meat and water. That is what he has become. His press conferences have changed. The way he answers questions has changed from Mikel Arteta to Arsene Wenger. That is what he says these days. Because there isn't at any point in time like I felt like they have given us a good reason for Mesut Ozil not to play in that Arsenal squad. No reason. And now he says he's standing for fairness and against injustice. I think that's the reason. The sponsorship, the deals, Stan Kroenke's reputation and so on. I think that's the reason as to why Mesut Ozil is not playing at Arsenal. But anyway, that is what is trending on Twitter. I can't read everything. I can't read everything on Twitter, but just know there is a lot of fire. Hassan says Mesut Ozil has been treated disgracefully since making a stand against the injustice facing Aga Muslims in China. Arsenal, you should be ashamed. So Ozil but I don't see why religion and any base of discrimination should account for the tearing apart of a dressing room, because this could cause grave problems in that dressing room, and Mikel Arteta knows that. He has been made head manager. I think the first thing he should have done as manager would have been to, to tell the club that let us not portray whatever is going on behind the scenes on the pitch. We should have covered this in some way. He should be playing. He's one of the best players at the side. Defenders, fans are demanding for him. I'm one person. I'm demanding from him. For Mesut Ozil. I think he should be playing. Anyway, why not? Tomorrow we have that Europa League game. I'll be going through it, the predicted lineup and players to watch and think as well. But I'm disappointed with Arsenal. Really disappointed. Really, really disappointed. If politics has become the way to rule Arsenal, then we no longer have the club. Stan Kroenke has made us a political corporation. And all we can say is long live Mesut Ozil. We shall look up to him. He's a Arsenal fan. He loves the club.